Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for Monday, July 25th, 2016, around 7:09 in the morning in Billerica, Massachusetts. Going to be another hot and hazy and humid day, highs in the mid-90s. Get out that sunscreen, put it on your face so you avoid getting a sunburn. Also drink plenty of water, check up on the elderly, and just please, whatever you do not leave your pets in your vehicle in this weather for any period of time. But you have to keep an eye on the sky for the afternoon. Some strong to severe thunder showers. These are going to be quick, heavy downpours, which could cause wind, could cause scattered power outages. That's not good because there's some areas that when you get a power outage in a storm, it could be out for 24 hours. Some news to report. The Lowell Spinners beat West Virginia by the score of 5-2. The Chicago Cubs and New York Yankees are talking about Orlando Chapman trade. Chapman is a relief pitcher who throws over 100 miles per hour. It's Happy National Youth Day. 70 years ago today was the first time Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin performed the comedy show at Club 500 in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And one little sad news bit to report: another mass shooting, this time at a club in Fort Myers, Florida. At least 2 people dead, over 15 people seriously injured. This is so sad. It's a weekly occurrence that there's some shooting anywhere in the United States and around the world. This action has to be stopped. It just should not be tolerated. Somebody has to do something about it. But they're silent. The people, the people who want to stop it, don't say a word. What is this world coming to? Prayers to the families. And that's about it on the news. My first video blog subject of the day is the top 10 greatest sports stars in the history of Montreal. Montreal is like habs country, but for 35 years they had a Major League Baseball team, the Expos. They never had an NFL team, but CFL, but that really is just Canadian Football League, and they never had an NBA team. And here are the top 10 greatest sports athletes in Montreal history. Number 10 on this list is former Canadiens defenseman Doug Harvey, who played for the Canadiens in the 50s and early 60s. He was a 7-time Norris Trophy winner, one of the best defensemen in the original 6 era. He was a great player. His number 2 is retired by the Canadiens, and he passed away in 1989. Number 9 on this list of the greatest sports stars in Montreal sports history, Vladimir Guerrero. Vladimir played for the Montreal Expos for many years. He was their only star in the late 90s, early 2000s. He's the all-time home run king in Montreal Expos history. And he wore number 27. Number 8 on this list of the greatest sports stars in Montreal sports history, Larry Robinson, nicknamed Big Bird. He was the head of the blue line for the Canadiens when they won those Stanley Cups in the 1970s. He won a few Norris trophies. He played most of his career with the Canadiens, and when he retired, he went into the Hockey Hall of Fame. His number 19 is hanging up at the Bell Center. Number 7 on this list of the greatest sports stars in Montreal sports history, Patrick Roy, goaltender. Patrick won many Norris trophies for the Canadiens, also 2-time Stanley Cup champion with a Canadians as well. He requested a trade out of Montreal in 1995 and won 2 more Stanley Cups with the Colorado Avalanche, which was the former Quebec Nordiques. Patrick Warp, if the Quebec Nordiques was still there, the Canadians probably would not trade Bois to the Nordiques under any circumstances, but he made up with the Canadians, and number 33 is hanging from the rafters at the Bell Centre. Number 6 on this list of the greatest sports stars in Montreal sports history, Andre Dawson, the Hawk. Andre played 10 seasons with the Expos. He won 1977 Rookie of the Year. He was a great defensive outfielder, but his knees were basically shot playing in that artificial turf at Montreal. He was runner-up to MVP a couple of times in an Expos uniform. His number 10 retired by the Expos. Number 5 on this list of the greatest sports stars in Montreal sports history, Gary Carter, catcher who played 12 seasons for the Expos. He was probably one of the best players of all time, a multiple-time All-Star with the Expos, and he got traded to the New York Mets in 1985. But he ended his career in 1992 with the Expos. Number 8 retired by the Expos, even though they're not in existence anymore. Number 4 on this list of the greatest sports stars in Montreal sports history, Howie Morantz. Howie Morantz was basically the first superstar Canadian player. He was a great player back in the 20s and 30s. He wore number 7. He passed away in 1937. They had a big funeral for him at the Montreal Forum. His number 7's retired by the Canadians. Number 3 on this list of the greatest sports stars in Montreal sports history, Jacques Plante, who was the goaltender for the Canadians in the 50s and 60s, first NHL goaltender to wear a mask in a regular season game. He was the Hart Trophy in 1962. Retired at the age of 46 in the WHA. Number 1's hanging from the rafters at the Bell Centre. Number 2 on this list of the greatest sports stars in Montreal sports history, John Belleville. John played for the Canadians in the 50s and 60s, scored over 1,000 points in the NHL career, over 500 goals. He was the first player to get 1,000 points by scoring a goal. He was the second NHL player to do that. First one to score 1,000 points, registering a goal. Number 4 is hanging from the rafters in Bell Centre. Number 1 on this list of the greatest sports stars in Montreal sports history, Maurice Rocket Richard. Maurice Richard was a legend in Montreal, first NHL player to score 50 goals in a season, first one to reach 500 goals, and he won the Hart Trophy a couple of times. The fans of Montreal rioted for Maurice Richard in 1955 when he got suspended for the playoffs. He retired in 1960. He got immediately ducked into Hockey Hall of Fame. Number 9 retired by the Canadians. He was a goodwill ambassador for the Canadians until he passed away in 2000, and then there was a state funeral for him at the Bell Centre. And that's about it on the Montreal's greatest sports athletes of all time, sports stars of all time. And 2 more video blogs coming today. First video blog will be about MBTA bus route 431 that goes from Central Square in Lynn to Neptune Towers, which is only about a half-mile away. This is kind of like a bus route that should not be in existence. I'm going to tell you about some stats about that. And the third and final video blog of the night will be about former WEEI Sports radio show Ted Nation, hosted by Ted Sarandis. Keep calm, everybody. I'm Julie Pettenkai. Molly Rosemont of WCCO accent has nice legs. Elizabeth Atzo, so stunning, she's the best. Amy Sweezy rocks, she's awesome. Amy Bob Gibbs of ABC 11 has that sweet southern accent. And Linda Church is such a cool girl, got nice legs. And in the words of Sean Lucci, get out. See you later, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+.